In today's show, Bitcoin will likely grow 15 to 20x in the next 15 months, according to fund manager. That's right, Bitcoin has every possibility to grow its market size by 15 to 20x within the next 15 months, according to Anthony Pompliano of Morgan Creek Digital, who goes on the record to share, "My base is approximately 10x to $100,000, and the bull case is around $250,000 per Bitcoin," he predicted after assessing all the said catalysts. I'll be breaking this down for you in today's show. Also in today's episode, Max Keiser just recently tweeted, "There is strong evidence to suggest Bitcoin futures traders are manipulating Bitcoin down to give institutions a chance to load up on physical BTC cheap before the break to 28,000. And then he goes on to share, "The temporary Bitcoin price suppression scheme is a godsend for poor people to stack sats now before retail liquidity dries up and the Bitcoin price vaults to gold parity levels around $400,000. I'll be breaking down his bullish price predictions for you here in today's show. Also in today's episode, Bitcoin set for a 2017 style explosion by the end of the year on avalanche of institutional interest, says the Veer CEO. That's right, the founder and CEO of one of the largest independent financial advisories in the world says Bitcoin's 2020 close could look very similar to its epic 2017 boom. I'll be breaking this down for you in today's show. Also in today's episode, could this be the calm before the storm? Analyst says a $20,000 Bitcoin price is possible in the next 3 months. That's right, Mohid Saraut just recently tweeted, "Calm before the storm." If Bitcoin was to break out today, it would most probably reach its previous all-time high of $20,000 within the next 3 months. I'll be breaking this down for you in today's show. Also in today's episode, we'll be taking a look at the overall crypto market. We can see Bitcoin down 1.5%, maintaining just above that $11,000 support. Ethereum, most of the altcoins back in the red, but where's the Bitcoin price likely to go from here? Find out all this, plus so much more in today's show. Here at Crypto News Alerts, I drop a brand new episode every single day, so be sure to smash that subscribe button, that's right, and turn on all notifications to receive daily, premium Crypto News Alerts every single day, just like this. And before I kick off today's show, if interested in tapping into OPM, leveraging other people's money to grow your wealth and crypto portfolio, then smash that link right below the video in the description. All right, welcome back to another episode of Crypto News Alerts. I'm your host, JV, and let's kick it off by diving into today's top story of the day. Bitcoin will likely grow 15 to 20x in the next 15 months, according to fund manager Anthony Pompliano, founder of Morgan Creek Digital. The founder said in a note to investors that they should put 1 to 10% of their investment capital into the king of all crypto, recalling his own portfolio's 50% exposure into Bitcoin. Mr. Pompliano cited a string of upside catalysts that would benefit anyone who invests or hodls the 11-year-old financial asset. Let's go BTC. The first optimistic fundamental in line was the Federal Reserve and its unprecedented monetary policies. The U.S. Central Bank in April cut its interest rate to near zero to boost lending amid the coronavirus pandemic. In its recent remarks, the Fed vowed to keep the rates lower for the foreseeable future, which is definitely a bullish sign for the king of all crypto. And adding to that, we have more tailwinds as Bitcoin's bullish bias came from the U.S. government's $3 trillion stimulus package. Because of it, the Fed's balance sheet expanded by 75% since the beginning of 2020. The bank further announced that it's targeting a 2% plus inflation rate, as we can see right here on your screen. Now, the average investor fears inflation right now, regardless of whether we actually see that inflation or not, said Mr. Pompliano, adding that the fear has driven significant capital flows into inflation hedge assets such as Bitcoin, gold, and real estate. He goes on to share, the combination of the Fed's asset price manipulation and inflation fears have driven gold and Bitcoin to drastically outperform equities and other commodities. That's a fact. Bitcoin has been the best performing asset of 2020. Gold is also performing quite well. Go figure. Now, demand from asset managers and corporations are on the rise as well. Bitcoin rose about 50% on a year-to-date time frame. Pompliano predicted a further upside for the king of all crypto due to growing demand from institutional investors. For instance, Fidelity Investments, a Boston firm with $3.3 trillion worth of assets under management, favored a 1 to 5% allocation to Bitcoin in any portfolio. This is a pretty big deal. And meanwhile, Stone Ridge, a $10 billion asset management firm, revealed that it now owns $15 million worth of Bitcoin tokens. Billionaire investor Paul Tudor Jones put 1 to 2% of his $22 billion portfolio into Bitcoin futures. Also, many pension funds gain exposure to the crypto. And we have companies like the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust and MicroStrategy purchasing Bitcoin faster than it's being mined right now. So talk about massive institutional demand. Anthony Pompliano's letter highlighted corporations that purchase Bitcoin as a reserve asset. That includes MicroStrategy, a $1.2 billion market cap firm that put 85% of its $500 million balance sheet, which is $425 million, into Bitcoin, and global payments firm Square that recently just announced purchasing $50 million worth of Bitcoin. The demand outlook is strong, and it shows signs of actually accelerating into the first half of 2021. Mr. Pompliano said. The fund manager later discussed the Bitcoin market potential supply shock with the 21 million hard cap and 18.4 million units already in circulation. Pompliano noted Bitcoin scarcity against its rising demand would act as another bullish tailwind, and he goes on to share with his bullish prediction right here. My base case is approximately 10x to 100,000 per Bitcoin, and the bull case is around 250,000 per Bitcoin. He predicted after assessing all said catalysts. Let me know where you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to head. Do you agree with Anthony Pompliano that the Bitcoin price will soon 10x to 100,000, and his ultimate bull case for this cycle, 250,000 per BTC? Let me know in the comments right down below. Now let's check out the latest from Max Keiser, who recently tweeted, there's strong evidence to suggest Bitcoin futures traders are manipulating Bitcoin down to give institutions a chance to load up on physical BTC cheap before the break to 28,000. That's right. He feels once we break an all-time high, we'll climb all the way up to 28,000 before we see any significant pullback. And he also tweeted right here, when it comes to market forensics, my sources have virtually a perfect track record. I've reported on JPM, JP Morgan, crimes, for example, well before they were made public. Same goes for dozens of crooked banks globally. Protect sources, trust my track record. And he also tweeted right here, the temporary Bitcoin price suppression scheme is a godsend for people to stack sats now before the retail liquidity dries up the price vaults to gold parity levels around $400,000. That's right. He's saying stack those sats now before the Bitcoin price soars. And shout out to Rave Elevator, one of our listeners here on the show, who wrote, when the exchanges dry up, the Bitcoin price will go to the moon. The Bitcoin faucet is flowing. And I appreciate the meme from Tommy Boy. I'm a maniac on that dance floor. And just 9 minutes ago, Max Keiser added to the thread. He wrote, as long as borrowing costs are near zero, this price suppression can continue. We need rates to tick higher to break the price suppression stranglehold, and that deserves a heart and a retweet because I agree. Let me know if you agree in the comments right down below. And shout out to Max Keiser. He believes due to a global hash war, the Bitcoin price can soar to $400,000. Let me know if you agree or disagree with his bullish price prediction. And before I break down our next story of the day, Bitcoin set for a 2017 style explosion by the end of the year on an avalanche of institutional interest, says the Veer CEO. But first, let's take a look at the overall crypto market. We can see Bitcoin down 1.5% for the day, maintaining just above that $11,000 support. Do you feel we'll break below it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. We have Ethereum down 0.6%, trading at $366. We have Link down 1.11%, trading just above $10.50. Miss Litecoin barely in the red, trading just above 47 bucks. We have XRP down 0.3%, trading just above 24 cents. BNB barely in the green, trading just above 30 bucks. Cardano up 3%, trading at 10.6 cents. And XLM, that stellar lumens, up a whopping 12%, now trading just above 8 cents. All right, and now for our next story of the day. The founder and CEO of one of the largest independent financial advisories in the world says Bitcoin's 2020 close will look very similar to its epic 2017 boom. Now, how many of you were around back in December of 2020 when we saw Bitcoin go parabolic out of nowhere? Within like a week and a half, we climbed from like 8,000 all the way up to 20,000. That's right. Nigel Green, who spearheads Devere Group's $12 billion under advisement, reveals his bold prediction in a new company blog post, saying Bitcoin is poised to surge before the end of 2020. That's right, and I've been predicting after the elections, the Bitcoin price will soar as well. He goes on to share, there's a growing sense that we're going to experience a mini boom similar to that at the end of 2017. Prices are yet to catch up with investor interest, but this is only a matter of time, as investors will not want to sleepwalk towards perhaps year-high prices in a run-up to the end of 2020. Green says he believes a confluence of factors will trigger a big Bitcoin rally before 2020 expires. He goes on to share, there's been something of an avalanche of interest in Bitcoin in recent weeks from household name investors. Investor activity is picking up considerably with various on-chain metrics and ongoing and heightening global political, economic, and social turbulence, suggesting there will be a price surge before the end of the year. In December of 2017, that's when Bitcoin soared to a new all-time high of about 20,000, a price level that Bitcoin has not seen since, as we've been in a crypto winter for the past 3 years. But let's not forget, we just had a Bitcoin halving. And when you have a Bitcoin halving mixed with massive demand and there's limited supply, what's going to happen to the Bitcoin price? It's going to soar and go parabolic once again. Mark my words. Now, this bullish assessment is one of the few Green has made in the last few months. In August, Green predicted that the macroeconomic factors would support Bitcoin throughout the rest of 2020, where he went on to share, we can expect the world's largest crypto to be further fueled for the rest of 2020 by the U.S. presidential election and the weakness of the U.S. dollar, which will serve as a high octane for price drivers. And I agree 100%. And he concludes right here, a U.S. presidential election always stirs uncertainty, but 2020, it seems by many as particularly important, as not only will whoever win will be the CEO of the world's largest economy, but to also be in that role as the world economically readjusts following the global fallout from the coronavirus pandemic. So there you have it. Let me know your thoughts surrounding his bullish price predictions. And before I break down our next story of the day, could this be the calm before the storm? Analyst says a $20,000 Bitcoin price is possible in the next 3 months. And we're talking about influencer Mohid Saraut, who said calm before the storm. If Bitcoin was to break out today, it would most probably reach its previous all-time high of $20,000 within the next 3 months, which means before the end of this year. But first, let's take a look at the overall crypto market cap, sitting at $356 billion, with $64 billion in volume in the past 24 hours, and current BTC dominance is 58.9% according to CoinMarketCap. And now taking a look at the top gainers within the top 100, we have Ample fourth, up a whopping 26%, trading at $1.10. We have Decred up 14%, trading just below 13 bucks. Waves is up 12%, trading at $3.04. Stellar Lumens up a whopping 11%, trading at 8.1 cents. We have Aave up 11%, trading at 41 cents, and Decentraland up 5%, trading at 7.5 cents. And now checking out the biggest losers within the top 100, we have Filecoin down 20%, but still up 91% for the week, now trading at 44 bucks. Near Protocol down 10%, trading just below 80 cents. OKB down 9%, trading at $4.67. And ABBC coin down 8%, trading at 63 cents. Now, out of this list of the biggest gainers and losers, which altcoins in particular do you have your eye on right now? Which ones are you watching in your blockfolio, and which coins are you most bullish on? Holla at your boy. And now checking out the BitMEX margins, we can see the bears are barely in control, leading with less than 1 million in superiority in the last 24 hours. So you can say it's pretty much a stalemate at this point. And now checking out the crypto greed and fear index, shows we're currently rated a 56 in greed, yesterday a 52 neutral, last week a 53 neutral, and last month a 48 neutral. And if you're not familiar with the crypto greed and fear index, extreme fear can be a sign investors are too worried. That can be a great buying opportunity, aka BTFD, buy that freaking dip. And when investors are getting too greedy, that means the market is due for a correction. All right, and before I break down our final story of the day, I want to remind you to smash that show more button right below this video in the description for a detailed analysis of what's going on in the market. This goes for all 565 plus videos right here on my YouTube channel. Also some very helpful resources for you to plug into, including the blog to my podcast, which could be found at cryptonewsyes.com. Also be sure to smash that subscribe button right below this video to help support the channel. We just crossed 1 million video views, and I want to say I greatly appreciate your continued support. If you're listening or tuning in from a different platform outside of YouTube, the direct YouTube link is cryptonewsalerts.net. You can also find us on all the major podcasting platforms, from Spotify, the home of the Joe Rogan Experience, as well as Apple's iTunes. You'll find the links in the description below the video. Also, you can follow us on Twitter to receive daily crypto news alerts. My Twitter handle is crypto news yes. And for those of you active on Facebook as I am, I do have a private crypto Facebook group entitled Crypto Alchemy. To join it, simply click this link, request to join. I'll be sure to plug you in. And for those of you active on Telegram as I am, I do have a private crypto Telegram chat. To join it, click this link and you'll automatically be added. And I'm looking forward to connecting with you personally on the inside. All right, now let's break down our final story of the day. The price of Bitcoin has been consolidating within a tight range for several months. If Bitcoin successfully breaks out, then BitAzu Capital founding partner Mohit Saraut says a record high would be imminent. That's right, since July 2020, Bitcoin has been ranging between 10,200 and 11,800, which is a 15% range. It has seen subdued volatility for a prolonged period, except for some short instances of a volatility spike. Now, when Bitcoin stays stable for a long time in a tight price range, a major price movement typically occurs and we see a breakout, whether it's to the upside or to the downside. Now, whether a breakout would occur in the near term or not remains uncertain. But if it happens, Saraut says it would take 3 months for Bitcoin to hit 20,000, reclaiming its all-time high. Do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to break out to a new all-time high before the end of this year, considering we do have elections coming up right around the corner? Let me know in the comments right down below. Now, why 3 months for a Bitcoin all-time high following a breakout? Let's discuss it. Based on previous price cycles, Bitcoin tends to move fast after exiting a long range, and the pattern historically applied to both breakouts as well as breakdowns. From May 1st to July 20th, Bitcoin ranged between 8,800 and 9,800, stabilizing at around 9,100. After 2 months of consolidation, it took Bitcoin just 12 days to record a 32% rally to $12,123. Now, considering the tendency of Bitcoin to see large volatility spikes after prolonged consolidation periods, Saraut says, checking out his tweet right here on crypto Twitter, calm before the storm. If Bitcoin was to break out today, it would most probably reach its previous all-time high of $20,000 within 3 months. And when asked about the reasoning behind the 3-month span, Saraut said it is based on an observation of volatility. According to Saraut, a price increase towards 20K could happen even earlier than 3 months. Here's what he shared on crypto Twitter: an observation based on how violent the rallies are after subdued periods of volatility. Now, one important variable to pinpoint is its decline in futures open interest compared to previous bull markets, particularly after the CFTC's charges against BitMEX. Overall futures open interest has dropped. This could lead to a more stable and gradual uptrend for Bitcoin, unlike past bull cycles. And now for some factors that could strengthen Bitcoin's momentum in Q4 and throughout 2021. A strong narrative around the Bitcoin bull cycle heading into 2021 remains the recent upsurge of institutional demand. On October 17th, we had Grayscale CEO Barry Silbert said the firm hit record high assets under management at $6.4 billion. Silbert emphasized that the firm saw big inflows this week, and in Q3 alone, over $1 billion in inflow. Talk about massive institutional adoption. Institutions have been acquiring Bitcoin, like Square and MicroStrategy, said they perceive Bitcoin as a potential treasury asset. That's right, because it is. And if so, that can mean that many institutional investors are accumulating Bitcoin without the intent to sell in the near futures. Strong hands, that's exactly what we need. The price of Bitcoin has been relatively stagnant throughout October, despite the positive news around institutional inflows, but Stock to Flow creator Plan B says asymmetrical returns are likely to occur over time. He recently tweeted regarding the Stock to Flow: why does Bitcoin price not go up with all this institutional buying? Who is selling? Bitcoin price is exactly where it should be, holding firm above 10,000, waiting for that one moment, asymmetrical returns, patience. And if you're not familiar with the Stock to Flow, it does predict a $100,000 Bitcoin price by the end of next year and a $288,000 BTC price medium average by the year 2024. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the stock to flow. And now for a quick recap of what I covered with you here in today's show. Bitcoin will likely grow 15 to 20x in the next 15 months, according to fund manager Anthony Pompliano, who predicts right here, my base case is approximately 10x to $100,000, and the bull case is around $250,000 per Bitcoin. He predicted this after assessing all the said catalysts. Also in today's show, I shared with you the latest from Keiser, who says there is strong evidence to suggest Bitcoin futures traders are manipulating BTC down to give institutions a chance to load up on physical BTC cheap before the break to 28,000, which he continues here. The temporary Bitcoin price suppression scheme is a godsend for poor people to stack sats now, which means stack those sats while you still can before retail liquidity dries up and the Bitcoin price vaults to gold parity levels around $400,000 per BTC. Also in today's show, I shared with you Bitcoin set for a 2017 style explosion by the end of the year on avalanche of institutional interest, says the Veer CEO. Also in today's episode, I shared with you the calm before the storm. Analyst says 20,000 Bitcoin possible within the next 3 months, and also shared the latest from Plan B of the infamous stock to flow model. So where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Do you feel we'll break down below that critical 11,000 support, or do you feel we'll climb from here? Drop me a comment right down below. Well, that's going to conclude today's show. As always, I appreciate you tuning in and journeying along with me inside this incredible crypto matrix. If you gain value out of today's show, be sure to smash that subscribe button. That's right, and turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this, including weekends. And real quick before I go, if interested in tapping into OPM, leveraging other people's money to grow your wealth and crypto portfolio, then smash that link right below this video in the description and register for this free system entitled OPM Wealth. You'll be glad you did, and I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's episode. Peace.